What's going on, guys? Mr. Ladd here, and I am excited to bring to you another product review. Today I want to talk about P&S, the double black version or lineup of their Absolute Rinseless Wash. Simply, rinseless washes have become very popular in the market recently, especially with water runoff becoming a concern in many largely populated areas, or even for those who just like to work in the garage and not have to pull their vehicle out of the garage, from wherever it's at, and they want to work where they're at. And so quite simply, like most waterless washes, rinseless washes, 256-to-1 dilution ratio. Get a bucket, couple gallons of water, 1 ounce of product, go ahead and put some of that product into a trigger or into a spray bottle and spray to pre-treat. And so how this is gonna work is I'm gonna show you my initial thoughts of this product, my initial reaction. I have not used the product yet, and so I wanna kind of take you into how it works, my mindset, my thought process while working with it for the first time, and we'll see, is a product like this actually necessary? All right, as I mentioned earlier, the P&S Double Black Absolute Rinseless Wash, the dilution ratio is 256-to-1, so that's basically 2 gallons of water to 1 ounce of product. So basically how these work, and there's nothing that really says what, there's not much directions of how-tos, but there's good common sense, right? You want to go ahead and take the product, shake it, make sure it's nice and shaken up, and you want to go ahead and the way I assume is it's probably going to be 2 of these capfuls that are going to equal an ounce, and so that's what I am going to do. If I'm wrong, feel free to let me know. Okay, so this is a thick product, and I did not expect that at all because most of these rinseless washes are very thin in consistency. So if you can see that, that's like a gel almost. Yeah, you see that? That's like a gel. That's very shocking. Although that actually is kind of a relief because most of these are thinner products and you really don't expect much lubricity out of a thin product. And so I'm assuming that's about 1 ounce, make sure that's nice and good to go and all that. Let me get that, put the cap back on. And first off, how does the product smell? This one smells almost just like a basic cleaner. It doesn't really have much of a fruity scent or really much of a scent at all to it. It's so there's really not much smell to it. You're not gonna get one of those signature grape or watermelon or grapefruit smells, which I don't know if I've ever smelled a grapefruit product, but nonetheless, you're not gonna get a signature smell out of it. It's a basic cleaner smell, which, can I be honest, if you're working inside, that's kind of pleasant because I'm kind of sick of these really obnoxious smells that want to knock you out, But it's fine, that's no shade on any company, it's marketing, right? And everyone markets how they want to market. And so I really don't feel any lubricity, which is fine because, it's all about how does the product work when it's on the panel. And so as the bottle also mentions, if you want to go ahead and use a pre-treat, take a bottle, and just with the same dilution ratio, go ahead and take a bottle and fill it up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a 32 ounce spray bottle, and I'm gonna fill it up with the solution that's in the bucket. Make sure that it doesn't even need to be full, it's just whatever. I just need enough to get the car done, right? Enough to get the video done. Go ahead and go with that. So this is going to be our pre-treat bottle where I'm gonna spray this product on the panel, let it dwell for a little bit, and then go at it. And then simply what we're gonna do afterwards is, quite simply, we're just gonna put a microfiber towel in the bucket and let it sit there, and voila, we can get to the car. So I've got the car that I'm working on right here. Simply what I'm going to do is, as I mentioned already, I'm gonna take the product that's in the bottle, I'm gonna go ahead and pre-treat the surface, and we'll start using the rinseless wash and see how does it work. So I'm gonna work with half of the hood right here. That's a good little surface area. Now, the bottle doesn't say necessarily how long to let the product sit or dwell on the panel if you're gonna go ahead and pre-treat, but with everything, the more dwell time doesn't always mean the better, but if you're gonna try to emulsify dirt as safely as possible, Yes, you want to give it some dwell time. You don't necessarily want to saturate the panel with the product. Sometimes it's just best to do a light mist so it's a nice even layer rather than just a whole mess of product on top of it. And a lot of waterless washes, you're not supposed to do a whole bunch of product because it helps the emulsification process. Nonetheless, I think it's been sitting for enough time. So I've got my product here. I think I have a tag on the microfiber towel. Yes, I do. Let me pull that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the towel. See if you can see this pretty well. I'm going to take the towel and I'm going to lightly wring it out. Not a whole lot, just a light wring. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe. So it definitely does feel slick under the towel. And I'm picking up dirt. It's not the dirtiest of vehicles, but definitely getting the job done here. Take a second towel for the drying process and see how does it remove. Flip over. So it's definitely working. So this product doesn't say anything about waxes or silicone or anything like that. It just says that it leaves a slick finish. And so I'm assuming there's, the polymers from the product are leaving some type of slickness behind. And so probably not much protection, but definitely slickness behind. And so, yeah, the drying process was pretty good especially for a rinseless wash. You can't expect it to be the same as when you're using a towel for, doing a standard hand wash with the water or whatnot, with the foam cannon and all that. Because that huge drying towel is going to take everything, and you're always going to see some type of residue behind. You're going to see some type of streaks or marks or water spotting from the towel because you can't pick up 100% of the moisture. There's always going to be a little something left behind. And so with a rinseless wash, you are kind of doing the job of the initial dry that you would in a standard wash, as well as you're going to go ahead and you're removing all of that residue, all those water spots. You're almost doing 2 steps in one. And so you might think that you're taking extra time, but in reality, you're actually saving time because you're not having to go back and forth doing multiple steps. Let me go ahead and let's move to another part of the car. All right, here we go. We have the front fender, and we're going to go ahead and move along. Now, if you're very, very anal about scratches, which, I think we all should be concerned to some extent about scratches, you want to make sure that you're flipping the towel over and you're never using the same side over and over again. It's good general caution, right? And also another good thing to think about when you're doing rinseless washes is try not to just go flat against the panel. Try to lift up the towel, if that makes any sense. Maybe I should have used it with a dry towel. But as I'm going across the panel, I want to go ahead and kind of lift up as I'm working to make sure that I am actually going at the vehicle with a fresh side each time, if that makes sense. So here we go. And so once again, it's doing its job. I always recommend drying with a plush microfiber towel, but I'm curious to see something. I'm gonna try something out and I'm gonna do it on camera. I'm very curious to see if this will work out what I'm thinking. So curiosity has me questioning if instead of using a standard plush microfiber towel, if I use a drying towel, will that make my job easier? I guess we're gonna find out. So as always, pre-treat the surface. Sit there a little bit, that's a good saturation, right? That looks good. Okay, so now technically it's been washed, right? Let's see. If I take a drying towel and go up to the vehicle, is that going to make the drying process easier? Now, this isn't really in regards to reviewing Absolute right now. I'm just saying, is this method an effective method? And by far, I much prefer the drying towel, if that makes sense. Because then you can go ahead and you can either still follow up if you want to do a fine mist or whatever. You can take the product, just a little one simple spray, treat it almost like a quick detailer almost. And that right there is so much easier in my opinion and so much quicker. The only downside is, yes, now you're carrying a drying towel on you. And there you guys have it. That was the P&S Double Black Absolute Rinseless Wash. Now, when I started my business a few years back, I started off offering nothing but rinseless washes, nothing but waterless wash. And so I'm not the biggest fan of this method today, just because of the simple fact that I came from there. And when I finally got my water tank and my pressure washer and my generator, I felt like I elevated and I did not want to go back. That being said, there are moments where when I'm working in a garage or the weather conditions are severe, I find myself having to go back to a rinseless wash. And so if you do have to use a rinseless wash and you are in need of rinseless washing techniques, Absolute's a great product. It's not leaving behind this wax or this sealant or whatnot. There are polymers inside of the product. That's what helps you and that's what aids you in a safe rinsing and cleaning process. And so there are going to be polymers, but the cool thing is that it works on all types of vehicles, all types of surfaces. You can use it on interiors, exteriors, glass, matte, vinyl, all those different things, PPF. It works on all different types of surfaces. And so it's one of those things where it is a product. These rinseless washes are a one product fits all scenario. Wheels, tires, yes, it's not gonna be the strongest clean, the most thorough, but for what it can offer, it's going to do the job. And so Absolute Rinseless Wash is a great product in my opinion. A couple things about this product that I happen to really like is the fact that it's actually a thicker product. It's more of a gel. And so it leads me to think that it's actually more of a concentrated product. Does that really mean anything? I don't know. I don't know if it really means anything, but it does happen to work very well. And I think that the gel consistency does add actually to the performance of the product itself. I like the fact that it doesn't have this crazy overpowering scent if I'm working inside and whether it's ventilated or not ventilated. If I'm working inside, this product is not going to give me a headache. And of course, the benefit of this product actually is the simple fact that you're going to be able to find it pretty easily. P&S has a pretty large name, and it's going to be pretty easy to find this product. And also one last tip when talking about this product, when it comes to rinseless washes, yes, if you want to go ahead and take your time and be slow about it, go ahead and do the multiple towel techniques. Use the one microfiber towel and follow up with another plush microfiber towel. You can use that big rig sponge, some type of sponge, wash mitt, whatever you want. I personally prefer to use a drying towel, and that actually I find myself working much quicker because I hate staying in one spot for so long. A drying towel actually is my preferred method, and if there are some water spotting behind or some streaks or whatever it is, you can just follow up with a plush microfiber towel. I find myself working quicker that way, and it happens to be more effective in my opinion. Now, the Absolute Rinseless Wash is gonna run you under $20 for the quart and under $50 for the gallon. So this product is actually a very economical way of approaching a vehicle. For a lot of shops, what they'll do is they'll keep a bucket of rinseless wash on hand and they'll just go ahead and use it for multiple cars because they're not really going through a whole lot of dirty cars. The cars are already clean, right? But not only that though, a lot of businesses, what they'll do is because products like this, they kind of soften water and kind of helps break down dirt. And as the dirt falls to the bottom of the bucket and all that stuff, you know, it really helps them. And so basically 1 ounce can go miles and miles, literally. And so it's a very economical way of running a business if it's a way that you like performing a service, if you enjoy the rinseless technique. And so it's definitely a very economical product. So guys, there you have it. Mr. Ladd here signing out. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. If you like this video, if you think that this video was beneficial and informational to you, go ahead and click that subscription button, click the notification bell, wax the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much, guys, and have a wonderful day.